on. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, is standing by and joins us now. And Adam, I know this is the last 24 hours you've had more than you can handle in that office. So I really appreciate you taking some time with us now. Can you kind of take me through the way Wednesday played out, culminating with you saying this is we're going to suspend the season?
Absolutely. First of all, Charles, I hope you're feeling better. I didn't even know that you'd had a coronavirus test, and obviously I hope it comes back negative. I mean, the good news is that, I mean, especially for healthy people under 70, it's very treatable. But I think, as Kenny said earlier, that I think we're at the point now that this has been declared a pandemic, that it's virtually impossible to contain it, and it's going to become widespread. And also, as Kenny said, the NBA community is not immune, and so it's going to spread throughout our community as well. What had happened yesterday was that we had a Board of Governors meeting. It was by conference call, and some NBA League committee meetings with some groups of our owners as well. And the very purpose of the meeting was to decide what our next step should be. I had been talking to your colleague, Grant Hill, you know, former NBA great, who's also on the board of the NCAA, and he had been filling me in on their discussions about facing the decision as to whether they should play at that point. They have obviously canceled at this point, but whether they should play with or without fans. And some of the same experts, in particular, Dr. Vivek Murthy, who used to be the Surgeon General of the United States under Obama, was advising us both. And the truth is, up till a few days ago, or even up till yesterday, the experts were unclear as to whether, as a public health matter, NBA arenas should be emptied. I think there was a clear consensus that for people over 70 or people who have any sort of underlying ailment or, you know, a compromised immunity system, that they should not be coming. But again, it was an open issue. So we had a board meeting. We had scheduled one for Wednesday and one for today. The purpose of the one Wednesday was so that we could run through every team and get their point of view. We have some owners who have a fair amount of expertise. Mickey Arison, who owns Carnival Cruise Lines, who's dealt with these issues for years, you know, and others who had opinions. And essentially the discussion was, should we attempt to play our games without fans in the arenas? Would that be safe? Or we should take some sort of hiatus? And then the plan was for the league office to process that information and then have another discussion today and make a decision. The call went on for several hours, and I was heading home, I think around 8 o'clock or so last night, and I got a call from the league office that we had just learned, literally is right before tip of that Utah Jazz Oklahoma City game, that Rudy Gobert, and I'm almost only saying his name because he made it public that he was one of the players that ultimately we learned tested positive, that although he had been separated from his team the day before because he had been running a fever. And once his test came back positive, we needed to make a decision whether we were then going to cancel the game. And the fans were in the seats, ready to go. We were now 5 or 10 minutes past the point we were supposed to tip. I spoke to Clay Bennett, who was there, owner of Oklahoma City Thunder, Sam Presti, the GM, and also spoke to some representatives of the Utah Jazz. And I think we quickly agreed that this should not, of course, be a business decision. We should be listening to the public health experts, Oklahoma City and the team doctors. They conferred and fairly quickly decided we should not be playing. And then so, you know, I think I officially canceled the game, and immediate issue was clearing the building of fans and not alarming anybody. And then we waited till the fans were out, and then we made that decision since I knew I'd had the benefit of several hours of meetings that day with representatives of every team on the issue of a hiatus. You know, it seemed in that moment we made the decision that at the expiration of that last night's games, we should be taking a hiatus, knowing again we would have a chance to meet and have further discussions today. So that was the decision, as you know. Then we ended up later that night all reconvening because one of the referees at the Sacramento Kings New Orleans game had also been in touch with the Utah Jazz. That referee had had a meeting earlier in the day with the other two referees, so then we made a decision to cancel that game as well.